It's 10 minutes after 5 on October 4th, 2023. And I am working on the composition of this piece. I have decided that this little plant right here is going to be my straight up and down. And so the way that I do that is I just put it where I want it and I put the ruler straight up it. That way it gives me kind of a reference point. I'll have to move it over though because I'm going to want to add something to the side. Now, I originally really wanted to use this because I liked this color relationship. And I don't know whether I'm going to be able to. What I have to do is move this in and decide whether these can be straight up and down as well, and whether it's going to be too big, because I've decided that these pieces are all going to be between 11 and 12 inches a piece. So that may be wider than I want it to be. If I measure this, I can see this is exactly 12 inches. So actually, I do think, it's a lot of actuallys, I realize, but it will work, because what I'll do is I really like this color relationship, plus I have this, so it's almost as though this water has gone under and over and is coming out over here. So I'm going to pin these together just like this. I'll probably add something down this side, and then the other side, it's a little bit out of camera frame, so I don't want to move this right now because I have it all set, so we'll see where I get. So now what happens is that I pin this, and it takes a lot of pins. The pins on these are as important as the stitches because you need a lot of them to hold it together. This is already sewn on, but this one is not. And so I'm actually going to add some pins to this as well. Seeing as how I'm here. And I'll have to find just something to put here to square this off so it goes on the frame. What I love about this is that sometimes I can't even tell what I've sewn and what I haven't. When I first started doing these, I always wanted to hide all the stitches. Now I love them. I like to see them. I like all these funny little traily curly ends because they just remind me of what's happening in nature. So instead of trying to control it, I just sort of roll with it, and it's a really nice feeling to be able to do that. So that pin wasn't even doing anything. It's funny. All right, that's all pinned. Now I'm going to pin this. This pin is angled because, and you know what, I like how this curves, so I'm going to let it curve like that. When I first got the idea to put this together, I only had like 3 or 4 pins. I was in Maine, and I wasn't near my pins. These things travel with me everywhere I go, and they just get put together. So you might be wondering, why are you taking the pins out and putting them in? And the reason is because, well, first of all, these little pins are better for silk. And it's another thing where when I put this together, I didn't have these yellow pins. Now that I'm back in Tennessee in my master studio, I'm starting to get all my stuff out and find everything. And so these bend easily, and they're just better for silk than wool. And also, because I didn't have very many, like, see how that's like that? That's because it's a placeholder. But now that I'm actually going to be stitching this, I'm pinning it properly so that I can do the stitch. There. I'm going to add a yellow one because they're just less bendy. There. All right. So now that's ready to stitch. And now I am going to move this over. So what I want to do now, I want this to be 12, like 11 and a half, 12. So I'll zoom this out a little. Okay. So from the left to the right side, this is 12 inches. But first of all, this is at a slant, as you can see. So to square it off, whatever I do, it's got to be like this. So I think that what I want to do is actually probably, it's going to be to just cut this off. And then add another color over here, whatever else I'm going to do up here. I don't have to decide that today. I think I'm going to be better off to stitch all of this and then iron it again and see what it's like. And then I can decide where to cut this and what I'm going to put up here. So that is my thought process that I go through when I'm figuring out what I'm going to do with these things.